All right, we've got to talk about Turning Point USA's alternative halftime show because there's been a lot more controversy since just last night. You see on the screen from a film production friend here in Atlanta, Turning Point USA's halftime show hired 200 paid extras as audience. So now all these rumors that there were paid extras, and in fact, a Variety article coming out this morning, no indication was given during the Turning Point USA alternative show of whether it was live or where their performances were taking place, but sources say the show was pre-taped in Atlanta. So actually this whole thing wasn't live at all. They pre-taped it like a week ago, according to these sources, and then they just, went live on their YouTube channel with the whole video clip playing. And I just made a TikTok as I was sitting in my car before I walked into the studio where I said, you know what, if you're having a bad Monday morning or a bad day overall, remember it could be worse, because there were full-grown adults yesterday watching the big game, telling their friends, hey, I want to turn on the Kid Rock halftime show. That actually happened. There were losers out there who saw an entire show, and the only political message in the show was love beats hate. We should all come together. God bless America. And they were like, I don't want to watch this. Somebody turn on Kid Rock on Turning Point USA. It really could be worse. You could be, a loser? I hate to be harsh here, but this is unbelievable. You can't call something DEI and woke when that's the message. It's because you hate brown people. So we're going to hop in to some of this new stuff this morning. You guys have been showing so much love on this channel lately, and I appreciate you so much. It would mean a lot if you went right down below and hit like and subscribe on this video. It goes a long way. Let's look at Sage Steele this morning on Fox News talking about this, just to see how MAGA is reacting to this whole thing. These are bizarre people, because there is right now some really important Epstein news as survivors still look and beg the Trump administration, I should say, for justice, showing so much courage. They keep fighting every single day. They want the truth as Donald Trump and his administration cover up the Epstein files. There's Americans who can't afford anything because inflation hasn't gone down. It's actually risen under the Trump administration, starting at 2.9% inflation when he took office, trickling down to like 2.4%, and then going back up to 3%. Why? Because of tariffs. We've lost manufacturing jobs for like 13 or 14 straight months or something. There are seriously important things happening right now because Donald J. Trump is president, and instead Fox News on a Monday morning where all this news is talking about a Turning Point USA halftime show giving tribute to Charlie Kirk. Are we serious? These people are so out of touch. Take a look.
I thought the traditional halftime show was fascinating. How's that for a generic word, Martha? Honestly, I was so interested to watch and to try to see if he was going to come with some of the hate that he came with when it was announced that he was doing this 4 months ago. And the problem is I couldn't understand a darn thing he said. He warned us 4 months ago saying, if you want to understand what I'm saying at halftime in 4 months, learn the language. Didn't prompt me to go learn Spanish any better, and I'm sure millions of Americans agree with that. This is the biggest sporting event globally, really, every single year, but especially in our country. It's a celebration of American football. Down in the other countries, football is soccer. Okay, this is ours. And I'm frustrated that the NFL and Jay-Z, who makes these decisions, chose to do something so outside of what our demographic with American football wants. It was intentional, though, a business decision, as this sport, Roger Goodell, continues to make sure that it grows globally. They had 5 different countries they played games in this year outside of the United States. This is intentional. This is not going to change. They're going to continue to do it, which is why Turning Point needs to also continue. But it was frustrating to not be able to understand a word of what he said. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I have to agree.
These people are so weird. They are such weirdos. Frankly, I don't care, Sage Steele. I do not care. This is the most popular show on cable news, is Fox News. And this is what millions of Americans are getting programmed to think on a Monday morning. Well, let me turn on Fox and see what's new and breaking. It's Sage Steele, a former ESPN person, bitching and moaning that she couldn't understand the halftime show. I don't care. It was objectively one of the best halftime shows, if not the best halftime show ever. And it wasn't hateful. The entire message was like, hey, we should all love each other. He's the most popular artist in the world. The world. What are you upset about here? It's absolutely insane. And just for a little bit more MAGA crash out here, This is Laura Loomer. Get ready for this. Quote, it's kind of ironic how Bad Bunny was dancing on an electrical post at the halftime show. Quote, Puerto Rico isn't exactly known for having reliable electricity. He could have highlighted the electrical grid crisis in PR and done some good, but he chose degeneracy. And it's getting 4,000 likes and 6,500 comments. So ratioed on Twitter, you are batshit crazy and gross and disgusting. I mean, are we full-grown adults? I just keep saying that over and over because I'm just like, this is like we're living in like a backwards world. These people acting like children. Now, listen, I can't play the audio here because it will get immediately copyrighted and taken down by Kid Rock and the people over at Turning Point USA. Great people, by the way, just amazing people. But just to see, you can see a little bit of the video. Kid Rock sounds awful while performing in jorts at Off-Brand halftime show. And if you haven't watched this, I want nothing more than to be able to react to this with you because the lip syncing was like super off. Don't do drugs, kids. I mean, he's on drugs, right? The lip syncing was so bad. He's like not even singing. He's in jorts. He's in jorts. Look at this. This is a 55-year-old like retired, a 55-year-old divorced white dad's wet dream right here. To be like in this YouTube live. Like, this is amazing. America's the best. How is this not just, it's brutally cringe. Look at the jorts. We're honoring Charlie Kirk or something. But again, don't worry, Fox isn't done talking more about this because Donald J. Trump had an absolute freak out on True Social, his own social media site, where he said, the halftime show was god-awful and all these different things. He was really, focused on bringing people together and, again, focused on the right issues for Americans as he collapses in polling on every single issue, including the issues that got him elected. Most people saying they're worse off than they were a year ago today. Most people on the most recent Fox News poll saying that the President of the United States isn't focused on the right issues, including Republicans. He's falling apart on immigration. He's falling apart on ICE. The economy is a disaster. But don't worry, he's focused on the right things, bitching and moaning and not bringing anyone together. And it's so disheartening to me that, and I've said this several times, that, Barack Obama was inaugurated in 2009, right? January of 2009, elected in 2008. I was born in 2002, so I was pretty young. But I remember watching a man who I could tell intuitively, maybe is the word, that he was kind, intelligent, caring, somebody to look up to, a family man. And I remember being inspired by that. And I couldn't quite understand at the time why it was a big deal, but I remember it. And there are kids right now taking in this from Fox News because their parents like have it on in the background. There are kids taking in Donald J. Trump's words last night on True Social where he's, bitching and moaning about the Super Bowl halftime show. This is not how a leader should act. And I know you know that. Take a listen to this.
President Trump. So here's what Piers Morgan said. Couldn't disagree more, Mr. President. I absolutely loved Bad Bunny's halftime show. Amazing, best in Super Bowl history, ? Theater, choreography, great energy, very unifying message, he said. Oh, and Spanish is the first language for 50 million plus Americans, Sage.
And guess what? It is not the first language of the United States of America. Unfortunately, President Trump had to make that very clear by signing an executive order a year ago. Like, that's comical. The only thing I agree with Piers there on is the creativity. I did think it was super creative, and those were actual people. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is a celebration of us and of our country. That does not mean we are racist. I see that out there all over social media. If you didn't like this, then you're racist. Just stop playing the race card. No, it is that it's being shoved down our throats. And I guarantee you, this wouldn't happen on a national stage in any other country where they
I'm going to cut off Sage Steele. I would love nothing more than to debate Sage Steele on Piers Morgan about this. That was the dumbest shit, excuse my language, I've ever heard. Oh, why are you calling us racist? We just don't want this shoved down our throats. What is this? We keep claiming that there's this big woke DEI agenda. The entire show was just, again, I will say this again. Love beats hate. God bless the USA. Let's love more. We don't want that being shoved down our throats. I feel like that's a little bit of a Freudian slip. What are you talking about here? The reason we're saying you hate brown people and you're racist and you hate immigrants is because you watched an entire show that had no political message besides love more, and you're angry about it. He's the most popular artist in the world. And there's not many times I agree with Piers Morgan, but his post there being correct, right? And it's just like, what? It drives me nuts sitting here. I almost feel resentful in a weird way because I'm sitting here watching this on Fox News from two full-grown adults this morning, and I'm 24. And I resent, like, what? This is what you're focused on. I want to be able to afford a home. I want a future. I care about democracy. I care about treating people with respect. I've been passionate about politics since I was like 14. I saw Donald Trump come down the stupid gold escalator, and in my head I said, you know, I don't know anything about this. I want to learn more. So I just started researching on my own. I asked my parents. My parents growing up, they would never tell me who they voted for. They wanted me to, you know, find my own political views. So I said, okay. I started doing the research. I started looking into it. And so I've done all that work because I want to live in a future where I can afford these things. I want to see America at peace, which my generation has never seen America at peace. I was born after 9/11, ushered into a war on terror that obviously was a failure. I watched a massive recession in 2008. I was quite young. I watched political division explode. I lost my senior year of high school due to COVID. I watched January 6th, and now I'm here. I want this America that I've heard so much about that was apparently so great, and I've never got to see. And as a 24-year-old, I'm trying to do that here while these two losers are on Fox News being like, the halftime show. Bro, shut up. Don't want to focus on the issues that matter. You want to focus on, I don't know, staying relevant and making money. It's all just absurd. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments down below. I'm about to end this video and go make a video about something that actually matters, which is the Jeffrey Epstein files and the fact that Donald Trump is covering up the Epstein files. I appreciate you watching this entire video. Again, it means a lot if you hit subscribe and like down below. Please have a good start to your week, and I will see you in the next one.